Well, hi, hey, howdy. Welcome on in. Welcome to the stream. Oh, darn it. I thought I had everything ready. But no, turns out I'm a fool. I forgot to tweet. You can edit tweets, right? I forgot to say the name of the game. Edit with premium. Never mind. I ain't editing a hi, hey, howdy. Welcome on. I'm Tilfin. We are in my very first late night stream. We do not show the crosshair in here because I've said before I don't like having a crosshair whenever I just want to look at stuff, because having a crosshair just, I don't know, focuses my vision way too much to the point where I can't see anything past the crosshair because I just want to look at the crosshair and see what's directly behind the crosshair. So I'm going to spend the first 10 minutes going through all the options that this game has, which is actually incredible. Might as well have DLSS on, right? As much as I don't know, I feel like I'm an absolute weirdo for saying that I don't like DLSS. I think it's more that I don't like the reliance upon having an upsampler. And it's like, oh hey, it's new technology, we can get new and higher frame rates. And then it's like, oh cool, we have the ability to have newer and higher frame rates. And really, ooh, a prophet hath no honor in his own country. John 4:44. I have always felt that a human being could only be saved by another human being. By James Baldwin. Baldwin? Baldwins? Confirmed. Being bald winning. Initializing firmware. Firmware functional. Loading autonomous program parameters. Version 1.08 loaded. System check. Passed. Initializing memory banks. Starting autonomous process. Ready. But I don't know. Having the option of a super sampler to increase frame rate made it to the point where developers said, yeah, there's an upsampler available, and that makes it mandatory.
Behold, child, you are risen from the dust, and you walk in my garden. Hear now my voice, and know that I am your friend, and I am called Elohim.
What is the name of it that allows for like the peeking in of shadows and stuff? That allows the darkening of shadows whenever they're in the shade, rather than the same monotone. Oh right, I can't go through that. That's a absolute barrier. I thought it was something else. Okay. So this shouldn't take too long, or this first part shouldn't take too long because it's the demo and I've already played it. Graphical glitch. Actually intentional, because you're in a simulation trying to create yourself, create your own personality. That was the point of the first game. We're going back in the menus.
This land is but a dream. You will stay here only for a little while. Soon you will awaken in a new world. But first, you must undertake the trials of initiation. They will help me prepare your vessel.
You got it, Daddy Elohim.
The shapes you are collecting are not mere toys. They are symbols of the process by which our people were created.
I have a feeling this is a little jang, but also nothing really stopping me, yeah? A lmao. Raffle even. There's no way that was the supposed solution to that puzzle, and yet I don't know, having DLSS available in games now, it's like, oh cool, we have a way to get more frames out of a video game. That's cool. And now it's just no fucking mandatory to have DLSS available, to have your super sampler on, because if you don't have your super sampler, then you can't play the game, and it's a way to have a less optimized game. There we go. I feel like I don't think that I'm stupid. I don't think that I'm dumb. However, I definitely think of things one way and then try to make things work in that one way for way too long. If that makes any at all an iota of sense. It's like if I look at something and think, oh, that's probably the intended method of doing something. And then I'm forced to think of a different way, and thinking of a second way or thinking of a second solution to something whenever the first solution doesn't work is incredibly difficult for me. So we will see evidence of that much later. My brain remembers the demo. And that's kind of why I'm able to go through this relatively easily. I feel like I am just like absolutely burning through these. Holy hell. Aren't you supposed to be jammed? Didn't I jam you? Yeah. Jammed. Just like in Spaceballs. Alright, there we go. There we are. I'm a genius. Thank you, Elohim. Praise me. Praise me more. You know, I didn't know until, like, I don't know, very late in my life that Elohim was the name for God. I think it was Prince of Egypt.
I am proud of all my children. Out of a world of ruins, they have built a new Jerusalem. And there your brothers and sisters await you to celebrate your birth.
How does Elohim know? How does he know about anything that happens outside of his simulation? Do they have some sort of interface on the outside world? Does time work differently in here? Okay, I need to have all three of them active. All right, you got it. So can I do it from here? Should be able to, yeah. Also, I need to remember that they have the quality of life where you could just pick up the thing and still keep all the connections. I need to remember that. No, wait. Do this. Bring you around town. Then do that. Darn it. Also, once more forgot about being able to keep connections. It feels weird to be just like playing and streaming a game at this hour. This isn't my normal time. I say, like, at the end of nearly every single video or every single stream that I stream nearly every day at 10 a.m. EST, and here I am, 1 a.m. EST. I actually wanted to stream a lot sooner, but I was doing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 stuff, and by that I mean I was doing dailies, and we had a really bad healer who would wipe on every single mechanic, and so it was up to our paladin to keep the 2 DPS alive, which is kind of insane that it can be done. In all honesty, it does feel weird that it can be done, and it's like actually not all that difficult.
Thank you, child. I have finished preparing your vessel. Now hear my advice. A new world awaits you, full of dangers and mysteries, signs and wonders. Things that I in my garden could never have imagined. In that world, you will have to be careful and smart and curious. But above all else, you will have to be human.
All right, fair enough. Transhumanism, here we go. Trans rights are human rights. It's actually kind of insane how in Final Fantasy XIV, the tanks can just solo most every single boss in the game. Oh yeah.
You're awake. Welcome to the world of the living.
Caught in ambush, same as us. Hello, pleased to meet you.
Oh, you're polite. What a rare combination of traits.
What?
If only the algorithm produced more people like you. Oh, but I'm confusing you. Don't worry, everyone is confused at first. You see, we all start out without a full knowledge of our own history, so we have the freedom to form our own opinions.
I could really use some pointers.
Of course. You want the short version or the long version?
Give me the lore. Well, I already know all the lore that's available from this person. And I think for most of, I don't know, like the next hour or so, because I definitely did play the demo a lot. But because this ain't the demo no more, I want to know everything in excruciating details.
You asked for it. A long time ago, our ancestors dominated this planet.
The humans?
We call ourselves human like they did, but they were organic. They built an advanced technological civilization, but unfortunately their impact on the ecosphere caused changes in the climate, and an extremely contagious virus was released from the permafrost.
From permafrost, all right?
That's something our historians still debate. Why weren't they more prepared? Why did they invest so many resources into making war, and so few into useful research? It's hard to understand. But no matter the reason, in the end, they simply ran out of time.
I like the implication that human twos are a much more peaceful race, much more sensible and logical. Well, I'm not sure about sensible and logical. It would make sense because they are robots, but I don't know. At least they don't focus on more stuff.
A team led by a scientist, Alexandra Drennan, began a project that was intended to create a new humanity. But knowing that there wasn't enough time, Drennan initiated a process, a series of iterations inside a simulation that would lead to the emergence of true artificial intelligence. That's why we remember Drennan as the progenitor. The
Equivalent of a
simulation was
god, I
controlled
suppose.
by Elohim, who wasn't really meant to be intelligent in the proper sense of the word. But it all took much longer than anyone had expected. And over the centuries, Elohim actually became sentient. Sentient and afraid. He didn't want the simulation to end, so he tried to cheat.
The Tower of Babel.
I feel sorry for him, really. The whole simulation was built around learning to defy him. It must have been hard to be in that position.
It didn't seem that bad to me when he spoke to me in my dreams.
When the simulation was completed, he became part of all of us, and it really changed him. It freed him, I think. You'll always hear him in sleep mode, taking care of you. That's what he is, after all. A caretaker.
Was there anyone else in the simulation?
Yes, there was Milton, the intelligence in charge of the archive.
The serpent.
A project initiated by Arkady Chernyshevsky, which was meant to collect all of humankind's knowledge. His story is a lot like Elohim's, but Milton became the ultimate cynic. They say he's part of us too, in some way.
And the simulation created us?
It did. Long after our ancestors died out, the first new human was born. We call her the Founder, although the name she took was Athena.
And that's the
She
character
then
from the
woke up
first Talos
Cornelius
principle.
and Eustathius. Together, using the tools left behind by the progenitor's team, they created 10 more humans. These 12 who followed the founder are known as the First Companions. Athena and the First Companions then set out to rebuild the world, and they founded the city of New Jerusalem. But then one day, she suddenly disappeared. Many still await her return.
Wait, hang on. Before I select this new conversation option, I need to look at something. Okay, found it. That didn't take all that long. Hang on. I mentioned that I did a game of Lancer. It's like a mock-up game, and I had really cool names for everything. And I'm still right. I'm still correct. This is all of it. This is the only existence that remains. It's a screenshot of the end of combat that I ran, and I sent a screenshot to a friend. But one of the the big guy with the whip, I think it's a Balrog that is named 1,000 Bitter Tears. And then there's this support dude over here, I think, who is called Worldly Hope. And I know that I had at least several more names that were really, really cool. But I remember finding that there were just like so many weird things that you just there were so many things that you just have to write down still in the Foundry tabletop that isn't included with the Lancer module that they have. But small workaround. And how do I fit in?
Before the founder vanished, she set a goal for this city. We call it the goal. Capital G and all. To make 1,000 new humans, and so complete New Jerusalem. Well, that's the official story, the way the mayor tells it.
So what's the unofficial story?
Some of the First Companions, like Byron, don't believe that Athena really wanted us to stop growing. They think her ideas have been twisted and embellished.
And what do you think?
They may be right, but I didn't see Athena very much in the years before she left. Maybe actually leaving the simulation and seeing the destruction left behind by our ancestors changed her mind.
Well, 33 would have a pretty good idea of what Athena is like, because 33 is a very, very old human. Human too? I'll just call him human. 33 is a very, very old human. If I'm 1,000 and it took like, what, I don't know, a century or two to get all 1,000 humans made. So I think that 33 would have a pretty good idea on what Athena would be like. Thank you. That was pretty exhaustive.
Welcome. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them. When you're done, head outside. They're waiting for you. Your birth is quite the event.
Will there be more new humans after me?
You've only just been born, and already you step right into a major controversy. The goal, as most people understand it, was fulfilled the moment you were born. Now New Jerusalem is complete, and we can live in balance, without damaging the world like our ancestors did. That's the orthodox view, I suppose, but there are many who disagree. You'll have to figure out where you stand for yourself.
Hold on. Am I immortal?
You won't age like our ancestors did.
Pog.
But of course, there is always some wear and tear. You should probably schedule a checkup every decade or so. Oh, and be a bit careful with water. You won't die if it rains or anything, but we're running low on insulation material. I wouldn't go swimming if I were you.
Understood. I'm ready to get going.
Oh, one more thing. Like all citizens of New Jerusalem, you have access to the interface, which you can use to read the news, chat to your fellow citizens, and so on.
I'm just being born, and they're already handing me the iPad installed with Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Just don't subscribe to
Damn.
too many newsletters at once.
These human 2s are just as fucked as human 1s. It's over.
Look, it's 1K.
Hey 1K, welcome to New
Yo,
Jerusalem.
Isinta.
Shouldn't the mayor be starting his speech?
This should be interesting.
Wait, hang on.
At least give him a chance.
I need to.
Dear citizens of New Jerusalem, many years ago, when the founder stepped forth from the simulation, this was a land of ruins. Our ancestors, in their hubris, undermined the natural foundations on which their world had been built. Because of their arrogance, our species found itself on the brink of annihilation. The founder aimed to set us on a new course.
You never even met the founder.
Her vision was of a city, a new civilization that would know its limits. It would not repeat the mistakes of the past, nor impose its will on this earth. To that end, she set the great goal we have been striving towards. 1,000 new humans. And today we have... Oh dear, what's that?
The most phoned in. Oh dear, what's that? If ever I've heard one.
People of New Jerusalem, I am Prometheus, and I will reveal that which was hidden. The flame has awoken and summons you. Who is brave enough to answer its call? We await you upon our island where... Curse you, Pandora. You will not chain me again.
Oh yeah, Prometheus is Greek. And the entirety of, pretty much everything else about Talos Principle 1 is Christian/Jewish, with all the references to Elohim, the serpent, the apple, and all the other religious references.
I told you we should have investigated those energy readings. And I told him there's something up with those structures.
The mayor's just being cautious.
This isn't caution, it's stagnation. Exploration? Too dangerous. Expansion? Too dangerous. We barely even scavenge anymore.
You call it stagnation, I call it balance.
And I call you an idiot.
Here's a thought. Try to be a little more diplomatic when you talk to the mayor.
See what I'm working with here, 1K?
This is a more than 5 degrees centigrade in height,
Someone
in
who
vertical
hasn't
change,
spent
in
several
escalation.
centuries hearing about
This
the
tram
goal
would not
and the
be safe.
founder and all that nonsense. If you're up for an adventure, meet us at the conference room.
I like how nice this place looks. Although I'm not quite sure if... I don't know. All this space that's... Don't Go Swimming has a gigantic fucking swimming pool in their home. In their gigantic city. I don't know. Not sure about all the empty space being used properly and correctly as third spots for a city design. I should probably turn down the game a little bit. Game normally very, very quiet, but... Attend briefing.
What's broken now?
Troubles in Paradise? They're almost a quad.
All right, listen up. I know you're all having fun down there, but the grid is overloaded again, so Maybe you could switch off your personal consoles or your lawn mowers, or whatever the hell you've all decided to switch on all at once. I might not be around to babysit you for a while, and you don't want stuff breaking while Pellegrino's in charge, do you?
Why the
That's
hell
it.
would you have lawnmowers in a
Don't worry,
utopia whenever
Wonka.
grass is
I see
the
you there in the
worst
elevator.
option to
I'll
have
be
in
moving
a
again in a
personal
jiffy.
residence?
Great way to start life in the city, huh?
Grass does nothing for the environment other than
the
take up
hell
space
is a
for
jiffy?
anything that could be
These
incredibly useful.
bloody language libraries.
Actually, hang on. reddit.com/fuck lawns. A leaf blower ban spreading across the US? Nice. Yep. Fuck lawns. There we go. That's the one that I was looking for. Grass sucks. End of story. Grass sucks. Use better things.